Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kali.alexandria and I'm so glad you guys are in this video with me today. Make sure you guys give me a like if you enjoy this type of content and you want more, and then also make sure you subscribe to my channel because I post every single Wednesday, so make sure you do that as well and ring that bell. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about how to become an influencer this year in 2022, or whenever you are watching this video. It is such an exciting field and I have been in this field for more than 6 years now, so I'm so excited to share my tips and tricks for people who are just like wanting to get started in this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into the video. Let's go. So I get this question every single day on my TikTok and in my DMs and my email, and that is, how do I actually just start and become an influencer? So on my TikTok page, I will make sure I leave a picture over here for you guys to check out, but also make sure you follow me because I post a bunch of influencer tips just like this video, but like in a shorter like span, obviously, since it's TikTok. But I always get asked like, how the heck do I even start? So number one, you really want to pick an area of focus or a niche. So make sure you pick your area of focus as something that you are actually passionate about. Believe it or not, there are so many aspiring influencers and content creators who just pick a niche because they think it's gonna do well, or that they see one of their other friends do, or they really admire somebody who is in that specific niche. So that is like the number one piece of advice I can give you in today's video, is to pick something you're passionate about, especially because this is your own brand. This is you have to talk about this topic day in and day out. So you need to make sure that you really enjoy this topic and you are passionate about it, because it's going to make your day-to-day a lot easier. My next tip is obviously just to start posting and not care what other people think about you. So in the beginning, 6 years ago now, I really like kind of struggled with this in the beginning because I didn't know how people would perceive me, and I was just kind of nervous of like what people would say and think about me. But honestly, that is not how you move through life. Just do something that you enjoy and that you can't like live a day without doing, and make sure you just like do it. Just start posting. There are so many times where aspiring influencers want to become an influencer, but they're like, wait, I'm scared to post. And that's like the major key about being an influencer, is obviously posting content, because being an influencer means like you have influence over a group of people or somebody. So how are you going to do that if you're not posting? So I know it's easier said than done, but it really is a work in process to just start posting and not care what other people think about you. And one of my biggest tips or pieces of advice that I want to share with you guys in this video is to not take advice from somebody who isn't where you want to be. Because if you're gonna listen to all of those unsolicited opinions from people who aren't where you want to be, you're just gonna get let down, and people are gonna try to tear you down, which is the hardest thing, especially in this business. So no matter what field you are in, this just applies to any aspect of life in general, but don't take advice from somebody who isn't where you want to be, please. Now make sure you utilize 1 to 2 different social platforms. At first, it's really tempting to make sure you get on every single platform that there is out there, but in the beginning, I really recommend you guys just focus on 1 to 2 different platforms and really get good at posting content within those platforms, because it's so easy to get overwhelmed if you are doing too much, and honestly, this leads to burnout. So highly recommend just focusing on like Instagram and TikTok, or if you want to do YouTube and TikTok, whatever that looks like for you, make sure you just focus on 1 to 2 things and not overwhelm yourself. Now this kind of goes off the last tip that I gave, but make sure you are utilizing new features of those apps that you are focusing on. So obviously TikTok has made a huge appearance in this industry in the last few years. So if there's one platform I can give you advice on and tell you to get on, is TikTok. I have gotten so many different leads and clients and brand deals and opportunities just from TikTok alone, and I've only been posting on that platform consistently for like 10 months now, maybe. I could be completely wrong, but it hasn't honestly been that long. And considering how like steady of a rate TikTok is growing. I highly recommend if you guys get on it. I know video is super overwhelming and intimidating, but if you can just like practice video and make sure you just like feel like you're talking to a friend and just kind of get comfortable with being on camera, that will be the best thing for your influencer business. Now, I don't want to just single TikTok out. There are obviously new features on Instagram and YouTube or Twitter or whatever platform you want to be on. So make sure you utilize those new features because those major social platforms really push those accounts who are utilizing those new platforms out. Okay, that was a mouthful, that was a lot, but yeah, that's why you want to use new features. Another tip I can give you in the beginning is making sure to engage, follow other people within your niche, and really build that audience and community. People always ask me how you can get brand deals as a small influencer, and honestly, the major key on getting brand deals is to build a loyal following and community, because that is what those brands want. They want access to those followers that are so loyal to you. So highly recommend in the beginning, make sure you just start building your platforms, engage, comment. The other people within your niche are not competition. I have literally met some of my best friends that are content creators and influencers too, just by being in the influencer marketing industry. So highly recommend to engage and follow other accounts as well, because this will not only help you like just build a community, but it'll also help you with networking. And that's also huge in this industry. Okay, I cannot reiterate this tip enough, and that is to be consistent and dedicated. So with any career in your life, you need to have some type of consistency. So in the beginning, it's so important to establish yourself as a brand and business and be consistent, because there's nothing more unattractive than like you go to follow somebody that you really admire and you like, and they literally post like once a month and you want more content from them. So I highly recommend to make sure, if anything, that you are consistent with what you're doing. So in your life, whatever that looks like, make sure you have time for this if you're really wanting to dive into this industry. Now, this kind of goes into the topic of building your niche and finding something that you're passionate about, and that is finding that unique focal point that is you. So literally just look at yourself and figure out what is something that you do that's unique that other people don't do. And I will tell you guys that you might not think your life is interesting, but I promise you, if you start putting it out on social media, people will think that is interesting. So for example, for me in the beginning, I really utilized that I am a pilot, and people thought this was so interesting. I come from a family of pilots, and I got my pilot's license back in like 2015. So yeah, I really utilized that in the beginning, and now I'm a full-time lifestyle and travel blogger. So find something like that that is unique to you. Next, it's just about putting yourself out there. I cannot reiterate that enough, and I always tell my clients and people who ask me a whole bunch of different questions on TikTok, and that is just to post your content, put yourself out there. I know it's gonna feel so weird in the beginning, but if you just post your content, you never know what could come about from it. And remember that this is your business, so honestly, there's no right or wrong answer to this. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So this is solely you. So honestly, you're gonna get whatever you put into this. So just remember that there is no wrong or right way to do it. And just because somebody else does things a different way doesn't mean you have to do it that way too. And finally, make sure you are learning from the experts within your related field or field you want to get into. So like I said before, it's all about community and not competition. So that's why I always recommend engaging and following people and connecting with those people within your niche. But you also want to learn from the people who have been doing this for so long and really just learn from them. That's like honestly the best piece of advice I can give closing out this video, is just to make sure you just learn from other people who are doing the same thing you want to do. And this is when you should take advice from those people, because remember at the beginning of the video I said do not take advice from somebody that isn't where you want to be. Well, we're gonna flip this around, and you definitely do want to take advice from people that are where you want to be, within reason of course, because there are some people that are crazy out there. But yeah, that is just a tip that I wanted to throw out there in this video before I close it off. And that is going to conclude today's video. I hope this helped you and gave you some type of motivation to start your influencer business this year. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and TikTok and leave me any questions you might have. But thank you again so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe because I post every single Wednesday, and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. But I will see you guys next time. Bye!